Okay, man. I did not foresee my KWC contributions being exclusively about Big Brother, but at this point, I might as well commit, right? Big thanks to those of you who watched and liked the cookout video. That was the first Big Brother video obviously I've done for this channel. If it was not clear, I've been a fan of Big Brother since the original season. That's right, I'm talking about chilling with my mom and dad, watching Eddie and Cassandra and Will Mega and Chick and George walk into that CBS parking lot, and subsequently forgot about it 2 weeks later. No, but for real, I barely finished season 1. I remember blanking out for a little bit and popping in on season 2 before watching season 3 in full and getting hooked from start to finish. A couple of weeks ago, I jumped on the TikTok trend of ranking my top 10 Big Brother seasons, thinking it would just circulate for a little bit and eventually fade into the background. Yeah, I was wrong. The slideshow has over 100,000 views and the comments are all over the place, if I may. Where's season 16? I can't believe you have 10 that high. Everything in the 20 sucks. And because one cannot properly elaborate in a slideshow with less than a paragraph of text on each entry, I figured the best thing I could do was draw the attention out even further by moving the discourse to YouTube. So yeah, it's baby's first real Big Brother video. Countdown. Roll the intro. All right. So first and foremost, if you hear rattling in the background, it's my puppies. They're being puppies and doing puppy things in their play space. So just ignore it. All right. So what makes a good Big Brother season to me? There's a couple different factors that I look at, but for one, I need gameplay to be fluid and enticing with a few exceptions. If we have a rigid structure and gameplay, are the people who are conducting that rigid structure and gameplay entertaining? Who are the people that are driving the season, and who are the other personalities that surround them? This also includes the feeds, since I do follow what's going on in the house outside the episodes. There are going to be some seasons where feeds play a big deal for me, and there are going to be some where they don't. Usually that means that there's one way down, way down. There's probably a second or third one like that, but there are some cases where the edit doesn't really give us what the feeds actually gave us story-wise, and I tend to still hold those seasons up a little bit because I still was interested and involved in the feeds, right? I have good memories from the feeds. So yeah, I think there's got to be a combination of all those. I do not have math or some kind of formula to this ranking. This is just about how I feel about these seasons. And there's a slight change up from what I put on TikTok after some rewatch and evaluation, mainly because I've had some time to also think through these a little bit more. Also, I'm not including season 1, the celebrity seasons, Over the Top, Reindeer Games, or Big Brother Canada. In the case of OTT and celebrity, the game is just different. For celebrity, it's a bit faster pace. OTT had the audience factor in determining who won. And I really didn't watch that season for real, so I can't really include it in here. And then Reindeer Games is its own little thing that I did thoroughly enjoy and would give it about 4 out of 5 stars. And I've just not seen enough BB Canada seasons to actually like rank them in any way. So for reference, I've only seen BB Can 3, 4, 5, and 9 all the way through. That's about it. And now I don't think they're on Paramount Plus anymore. So unless I feel like doing something to find them, yeah, and I'm good on that, honestly. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, one more thing. Please feel free to comment, leave your rankings and thoughts, like and subscribe, all of that. But be respectful. Like, don't be a fool. No one is demanding that you have the same thoughts and feelings on these seasons as I do. My number 1 may be your number 25. My number 25 may be your number 1. Everybody is different. We all view things differently. We see things from different angles. And so, yeah, I will say though, no, I take that last statement back. My number 1 is the definitive number 1. If it's not in your top 10, we're not watching the same damn show. And I'm sorry. There will be contradictions here. I don't care. Remember.
That's my opinion!
Go to hell.
Okay, so let me say my bottom 3 are interchangeable on any given day. You can really swap them out however you want to, and I'm probably not going to argue with you. But for now, Big Brother 22 is going to take the bottom of this list. And it's pretty straightforward and simple. When looking at these, I try and think about what I liked about each season, even the ones I hated. And for Big Brother 22, the only thing that I can really say is that it was nice to see some familiar faces again. It was nice to see Keisha and Janelle and Kaysar play in the same season. Is that Kevin Campbell? Hell yeah. This was especially nice considering we were in the thick of the COVID-19 pandemic and we weren't really sure we were going to even get a Big Brother season. And then the game started. And the night one HOH to me was a dead giveaway on how things were going to go. It was a balancing competition. There were pegs. The pegs weren't even reset. Cody immediately ran away with it because he could see which ones not to step on. A massive alliance forms that just never loses control. And the only drama was whether or not Tyler would overtake Cody, and obviously he didn't. Now, to be fair, I do think the season is a bit more interesting, as much as I hate to say it, if Casey and Josh were able to play. And not necessarily because of the two of them, because that means we get no return of Keisha and no Kevin based on, I think, the way that we found out about the cast release and cast assessment and alternates. But it would actually give Janelle and Kaysar a fighting chance. Based on what we know about the season, Tyler was reluctant to play without Angela and had his sails completely deflated once he walked in the house and didn't see Casey there. But if those two are there and you end up with two warring sides of the house, giving players who landed on the outside of the mega pregame alliance, and David, who I will stand by was this season's Chicken George. Like, that was his role. That was the exact role that he was there to play, okay? Like, don't go, why is David an all-star? Why was Chicken George an all-star, okay? I didn't even really remember Chicken George after season 1, right? I didn't remember him. But season 7, he showed up, and I love that man. David, I love him for all the wrong reasons, like with his poor acting skills. Anyway, okay, back to what I was saying. Instead, we just get a Cody coronation ceremony that was just as boring to watch. Outside of Devon winning the tiny veto, which did break Twitter, that was funny. And David's poor acting skills, there really just wasn't much to this season. Another missed opportunity that I do want to mention, if production does not mess up the triple eviction by revealing to the house guests that there was a triple eviction, does Nicole get evicted? Like, does Tyler actually convince Enzo to do it, with both of them thinking that there weren't any more evictions after that and that Tyler could effectively pull him? Like, Enzo gets flips to evict Nicole over David. All of a sudden, like, the end game is way, way different. Tyler ended up winning, like, the next HOH. So if Nicole was gone, he could have taken a shot at Cody and completely flipped the game on its head. But that didn't happen. And instead, we did get this moment. What?
Yeah, you're just a dirty, horny sex man like all the others. Nasty man. You're nasty bad man.
Oh, yeah, the other season that almost made me drop Big Brother. I just have to say I'm grateful this season did not keep me away for good. Yeah? No? Yeah, okay. Big Brother 21 is just not a good time. I'm sorry. I acknowledge day 44 was really damn fun. This was mainly because of the satellite leak that allowed us to listen in before the eviction ceremony. The edit doesn't really do what happened justice. But after that, we get the hilarious and iconic week of Jessica just locking the fuck in, winning the HOH and the veto, and sending knockoff Aquaman out the door. But outside of that, nothing. Maybe Nicole winning the double eviction HOH. Taco Tuesday, I'm good. A season with, like, some of the worst people imaginable, committing a ton of microaggressions, like walking like a monkey to mimic a black player, and whatever the fuck the shaker incident was. I'm sorry, man. I can't let it go. It wasn't fun. The camp comeback image still haunts me. I see Jackson's jawline in my nightmares. I do hope that he's made a speedy recovery in his addiction battle. And if fucking Reddit memes are the only thing making me pay attention to your season, bro, I'm good. I'm really good on that. Even the finale night with everyone getting called out for this is just something I don't care to watch. And I love me a good comeuppance, but it just doesn't do it for me. Oh, no. You know what? I forgot. Cliff winning camp comeback and immediately doing the money dance. I got to give it to him. That shit was baller. That shit was nice. Shout out to Cliff and Cliff's Notes.
I told you people to leave me alone! I told you to beat it!
Oh my God, man. 2017 to 2020 were some rough years. Once Big Brother 18 concluded, I think everybody and their mama knew that we were going to see Paul again. Like, it was only a matter of time, right? They made fun feeds, they made good TV, and I quite frankly wish that we lived in a world where Paul Abrahamian came back for Big Brother 22 instead of Big Brother 19, because Big Brother 19 had a cast that could have really had something interesting. The first week of the season should have told us how wrong things were going to go, from Paul's more than broken friendship bracelets to having us lose Cameron over Jillian and Arbor Day to what seems to be a misunderstanding that led to Megan having to quit the game, all culminating with Cody nominating 5 different people and biting his hat when Jillian went home. From here, Paul just dominates the season, but never owns their game and just plays stupid when confronted about their choices. Still, we see some pretty incredible gameplay, including St. Patrick's Day winning a sprinting competition with one functional leg, or the whole house somehow convincing Jess that she would be back in their good graces if she followed their plans on her HOH, and she evicted Ramses. Still one of the worst HOH reigns of all time. I'm sorry. Josh seemed to be the only player in the house savvy enough to recognize the game and how it was designed for Paul. Cody and Jessica did too. They just kind of had no chance. So I should say Josh seemed to be the only person on the inside of the house that realized this, and he tried his best to circumvent it through goodbye messages. Is that a viable enough strategy to really be considered a great winner? I don't know, but when the season is that heavily tooled in favor of returning player, there's only so much you can do. Also, shout out to Elena for recognizing this too. She commented on my TikTok ranking about BB19 being a dishonorable mention. Still, the season is just about Paul's minions, mainly Miss GPA and Dance herself, just setting everybody up to be picked off one-on-one, with us coming incredibly close to getting a Flag Day win. And I don't think I want to live in that universe. This season was where the feeds were absolutely dead to me by like week 3 or 4.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Okay, this is a long one. Strap in, because I wrestled hard with this one for a few different reasons. For one, we had some amazing house guests this season. Felicia is one of my favorite house guests of all time, not as a player, but as a personality. I still have clips of this woman saved on my phone because she was that fantastic on feeds. The clip of her eating the popcorn is fantastic. Her screaming, laughing next to Mimi and doubling over, amazing. Her getting her seasonings with the entire cast behind her cheering, fucking cinema, okay? Izzy, a feeds gold mine. Unstable as a game player, unable to lock down a decision, but watching her and Sari just flip back and forth on votes was a delight until it wasn't. Heisem, bring him back. Please bring him back. Like, stop playing with me. Bring that man back to Big Brother. But that's where my love ends. Outside of the feeds and the first half, I've got several problems with Big Brother 25, and most of them have to do with production. Like, this was the breaking point of the game for me. This season is the equivalent of skating by at work, repeating the same projects every year until somebody either new or higher up comes in and sees all the cracks in whatever the hell it is that you're doing, and now you really got to figure this shit out. Let's start with the length. 100 days is crazy. Yes, I know. This was to compensate for the writer's strike, made even more obvious by the addition of one Sari Fields from Survivor as the 17th house guest. Cool, got it. I never watched Sari on Survivor, but I had heard of her and I watched her on The Traitors. So once the rumors started swirling up that she was going to be part of the cast, I was pretty excited about that. But 100 days is just insane. This was made even more obvious by the sloppy-ass Zombie Week. And while people initially thought that Zombie Week was made to compensate for Luke's removal for the game, it was always planned due to a scheduling quirk. I can't remember what was going on that caused Big Brother to be off that week outside of that Sunday episode. But yeah, that's why Zombie Week happened. It was going to be preempted by that programming. So what was the twist made to compensate for the missing eviction?
By a vote of 10-0, Jag, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
That's right. Jag got saved by a twist that only existed because of Luke's removal from the game. Meaning that if Luke doesn't reveal himself as a racist, Jag does not win. I am not arguing with white people about white people using the N-word. Shut the f*** up and eat it. Amazing butterfly effect. And I want you to put a pin in that idea because there's going to be another season later where I talk about something similar, but it's not the same thing. So just hold your horses for when you see that later because I really don't want to hear it. Anyway, Jag himself was largely a non-factor in the beginning of the game. He was utterly lost as to what was happening around him as Cirie, Izzy, Jared, Matt, Corey, and Cameron were the main driving forces of the season. It wasn't until a series of broken-ass events that Jag ended up taking over and dominating the game. And I want you to walk through this with me. Yes, I wrote all of this down because I have beef with this season. By the way, no beef with Jag. It seems like he's a really nice dude, and I have no desire to take his $750,000 away from him. It's just in the context of like ranking seasons and ranking winners, he's at the bottom for me. Anyway, week 4, Jag is evicted, saved by a twist. Week 5, Jag is on the block, on the precipice of being evicted. He is saved through no action of his own. He's actually actively urged to make the necessary moves to save himself. And if it was not for Cirie deciding that the potential reunification of Red and Cameron was way too dangerous to leave in the game, he would have been evicted again. Week 6, more Cameron shenanigans. Week 7, Jared and Jag win HOH and veto respectively in 2 physical competitions, so Jag is immune. Week 8, Zombie Week. Jag is immune. Week 9, more Cameron shenanigans. Week 10, FBJ wins HOH. Jag wins OTEV and is immune for the round. They backdoor Cameron. Honestly, his best move in the game since Cameron was one of the only 2 people remaining who actually stood a chance against him in physical comps. Week 11, wins Invisible HOH, wins a veto, sends Corey home. Week 12, he's somehow, for whatever reason, allowed to compete in back-to-back HOHs and wins again. He also wins the veto. He's immune. Evicts Blue. The next week, the next round, when Bowie Jane wins HOH and Matt wins the veto, is the first time, this is during the second double eviction, this is the first time that Jag is not vulnerable in 4 rounds. It starts back up again the next round. Matt wins HOH. Jag wins veto. Cirie goes. Bowie Jane wins HOH. Jag wins veto. Felicia goes. Jag wins HOH, evicts Bowie Jane, taking Matt to the final 2 in a spot where he thought he would lose to Matt. And somehow wins just because Matt can't really deliver on a final 2 speech. This is several weeks of physical competitions where 2 of his biggest adversaries are literal grandmothers. Physical competitions where the main person on his side is an Olympian and one of his other competitors is like 5'6". No offense to Corey. Sounds also like a great guy. He's just not built for these competitions that they were running. The gameplay became entirely dependent on physicality, and most of the strategizing came to a halt. I will say that during that time, Jag had 2 very good moves, which set himself up for the win. One is convincing Bowie Jane to backdoor Cam and outmaneuvering Matt to essentially get him to evict his own ally in Cirie. If Matt doesn't do that, he's likely given the win by the jury. But because Jag was right about one thing in the end, which is when it came to the Mafia, holding my fingers like an M, he was the one making the hits. Okay, that was a lot. Probably by far the longest segment in this video. There's just a lot that pisses me off about BB25 and the unbalanced competitions, and along with like how dreadfully long the season is, how stagnant the gameplay becomes after week 8. It just doesn't do it for me. Like, not just doesn't do it for me, it fucking sucks. I'm not the type who says, well, an evicted player should never win, because there are places where eviction is quite literally out of your control, like one of the people that we're going to talk about much later in the video. However, it's the fact that Jag's saving comes because of something Big Brother had not planned at the beginning of the season. Like, this was not in the cards. Taylor's circumstances, who we'll talk about later, are way different because the way that BB had the twist set up, there was a strong possibility that she would have stayed regardless. Big Brother planned for that. They didn't plan for Jag being able to come back from that eviction because they weren't supposed to be down one extra person at that point. I will give credit here. Production heard how pissed off people were about the competitions, and they made a change for the better moving forward. So in conclusion, I'm sorry. Season too long. Winner was unexpectedly and exceptionally bad at the game, aided by competition wins that leaned toward young and physical players when there were a lot of older players in the house, and the tension of the season fell off a cliff after Zombie Week. The end.
Are you having fun?
No.
Yeah. I'm really not having fun either.
Now, you might say, Ryan, How dare you have the season full of racists over the season where we had our first Seek winner? And I will say to you, my friends, I totally understand. There's a reason why this season is in the bottom 5 for me. But like, let me talk about this one because this is the black sheep of the franchise. And I'll give some of the people some credit. It has a house full of rabid game players that make the gameplay interesting. The problem is that they're all racist. Except, I will say, I don't remember like Judd doing anything in particular. Like the main culprits here are Aaron, Gina Marie, Amanda, Spencer, Caitlin, Jeremy. All of them were just tremendously nasty people who were nasty to players like Howard and Candace. And because of that, players like Howard and Candace genuinely had no shot at winning the game. Helen, to an extent, and she was in the midst of war when she was eventually pushed out the game. And you've got Alyssa, who has made some interesting tweets in the recent past. But there's also McCrae. There's the aforementioned Judd. They both got completely snowed at some point in the game. The final 3 are GM, Judd, and Andy. So, like, just no thank you. And I say that while acknowledging Andy has one of the most dominant Big Brother wins that we've ever seen. And I really mean that. He really perfected that rat floater strategy that was just played to perfection. He was never suspected, never in danger all season long. That's impressive. Could he repeat it again? I don't think so. People are on his game now. He'd have to prove how adaptable he is in a returning season. But, okay. All right. Mama said if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So we are done here. Moving on.
There you go. Ungrateful ass niggas. Every time. I don't get your attention with just love and kindness. Nigga gotta come through with yak and herb, huh? Like that, my nigga?
All right. So a season where I talk about like the TV edit bringing down the show for me or as compared to the feeds. This is the one that I mean, right? Like a lot of people like this one. And I can be honest with y'all when I say that I get it. It's got drama, it's got fights, it's got all the stuff folks claim they like about Big Brother. But I will tell you what it does not have: a good winner. Eric Stein was by far the best player in the house. He was handicapped by production's twist of the season, which was America's Player. For those who are unfamiliar, America's Player was a twist where the audience was able to choose different aspects about Eric's game each week. If he was HOH, they determined who he nominated. If he won the veto, is he allowed to use it? If he's not the HOH, what player should he encourage the HOH to nominate? If the veto is used, who should he pressure to be the replacement? Again, like most Big Brother twists, this is a great idea on paper. In practice, this player is going to be heavily influenced by the edit, and in this season, we had Evil Dick as the production favorite. Dick got a redemption edit on the show, with a focus on rebuilding his relationship with his estranged daughter, Danielle. Dick, in his mind, is doing whatever it takes to keep his daughter safe throughout the game, including one point where he uses the veto to save her while they're on the block together, only to be saved because Eric was forced to flip on the alliance and vote to save Dick. So then Eric has to turn around and cover for himself with his alliance. He's got to dig himself out of a hole when he didn't put himself there in the first place. It's just frustrating to watch because at the end of the day, if you're not rooting for Dick, then like, what are we doing here? Yes, Jen, icon status, crying over your memory wall photo, backing into an HOH due to the mathematical technicality that you were clearly not considering when you answered the question. Just a masterpiece. I also enjoyed Jessica. Joe's eviction was fun. Jamaica getting weirdly sabotaged during like the final 5 or final 4 HOH was pretty crazy. This season was so foolish that Zach, Mr. Dolphin Crash himself, and lack of social awareness king, was a poorly organized final 3 comp away from winning it all. By that, I mean, if you haven't seen Ethanimal's conspiracy theory series, he has one about the BB-8 Final 3 HOH. It's worth watching. You might have been entertained, and that's fine, but it's not a good Big Brother season. And I'm sorry, Jennisons. I'm sorry, Dickaholics. I'm sorry, whoever. It's just not good.
You are my most favorite creation.
Okay, this is going to hurt a lot of people's nostalgia. I'm sorry. I don't mean it personally. I understand that this season was the entry point for a lot of the more recent fans of the show, and I understand that there may be an attachment in the same way that I've got an attachment for Big Brother 1. The difference between them and I is that I can understand and admit that my attachment season is fundamentally boring. Okay, I joke a little bit. Big Brother 16 has some points of entertainment. The biggest one to me is clearly Devin because, like, boy, what the hell? There's a level of intrigue when it comes to the Final Five that's immediately destroyed by the reset button. But outside of that, it really does nothing for me. Like, you've got some fun characters, right? Like, people love Zach Rance. I didn't really care for him at the time. People hated Frankie Grande, but he didn't bother me that much. Of course, Amber goes on to be a big fixture in the challenge, I believe. There was the whole weird, creepy factor between her and Beast Mode Cowboy, which, like, poor dear. There's Joey, a.k.a. Alex. There's Pow. Yeah, the more that I talk about it. Oh, Donnie, the original season with Nicole, when people still liked her. The Hayden that people also liked, almost not as quite as much as BB12 Hayden, but better than BB17 Hayden. You've got some people. It was painfully obvious that Derek was going to win the game by week 2. Like, what are we doing? His play style just creates boring seasons. Yes, he's an all-time great. His Big Brother strategy was replicated like several times over the next couple of seasons. It's just not fun. BB16 is what I would call corporate Big Brother. CBS retooled the advertising in the intro package. They pushed the show as a wild and crazy summer vacation fun time thing, and in doing so, they expanded their audience a bit, which is fair, but it's boring to me. It's not that fun to watch. It is a snooze fest. Next. Okay, man, I need to make something really, really clear. You can like a player, really appreciate their game, and dislike nearly everything about their season. I'm sorry, Big Brother 4 is my least favorite of the old school seasons. Like, it's not even close. There's some good highlights. Nathan using the veto on Allison was a pretty funny moment. The Three Stooges stooging all over the place. Allison and June being the peak of floaters in the best way possible. Someone had sex for the first time. All the wonderful things. Amazing. Beautiful, except the sex. I think we had our first expulsion on this season too, right? The knife incident. So Big Brother 4, if nothing else, definitely left an impression. But I'll be honest, I wasn't really into the feeds here. I think this is like when it was on Real Player, and I just did not have high-speed internet that was built for that at the time. Or I should say my parents didn't. I relied a lot on Quirky Dude for this season, if my memory serves correctly, just popping online and reading updates, going to forums and all of that kind of stuff, and just trying to follow along what was happening. But yeah, I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. A lot of the old school seasons don't hold up for me. I'm sorry, they really, really don't. And by old school, I mean like single digits exclusively is what I'm talking about here. The only real things I remember about the season are like June getting the trip to New York, the Three Stooges, as I mentioned before. Someone saying Robert or like one of the guys smelled like ass. I don't know why, but that quote stands out to me. And Jack, who looked like a good version of Robert Bentley, or Walton Goggins' dad. Either way, I'm good. Next.
I say you're pissing too darn loud, boy. It's late at night and you're pissing right in the center of the bowl.
Ah, yeah, here we are. Dr. Will's debut. Big Brother 2 is fine. It's fine. Like, obviously, it's important. It sets the tone for the show moving forward. It's a complete retool and repackaging of the first season where people just were tuned out by like the third week. Big Brother 2, of course, added the HOH, was the competition that we all know and love moving forward, where one house guest becomes responsible for putting up 2 house guests for eviction. Main difference in Big Brother 2 is that there is no veto, so it makes the game a little bit more intriguing, even if it makes like the weeks kind of boring. And of course, the other big move here is that the house guests vote out their own instead of America voting out their own. So more social strategy. This is the emergence of Dr. Will, both as a reality TV icon and a Big Brother character. This is, of course, Mike Boogie's first appearance, but he's like not memorable at all. And it's not until Big Brother 7 and Will strong-arming him on there that he even, becomes relevant again. But either way, I can't downplay the importance of this season. Like, am I going to go back and do a full rewatch of it anytime soon? No, I'm not. But it's still fun. Monica Bailey. I can't believe I forgot Monica. I love Monica. I loved Monica when I was a kid. I love her now. And I will say this. The episode where they reveal that 9/11 happened to the house guests is one of like the most heart-wrenching pieces of media I've ever seen. Just knowing what happened, knowing how it affected people like Monica, it's crazy to see that as like a time capsule piece, but also just knowing how people were affected by it. So yeah, that's where I put this one. Oh, you also had like the infamous incident of, I think it was Shannon scrubbing the toilet bowl with their toothbrush. I gotta remember. I'll probably put the clip here.
It's on.
What just happened, sweetie?
Nothing. I'm just a little choked up right now.
About what? Why are you laughing?
I'm not. I'm upset.
Why are you sad then? Why are you sad? I got you. It's okay, I got you.
All right, here's another season with like memorable people to me, but not necessarily like a memorable season. Marvin. Fucking Marvin. Love Marvin. Always thought that he was hilarious. I don't know why Marvin entices me so, but he does. He was a funny guy on the season. Now, I do believe that he got himself into some hot water on the season. I can't remember exactly. I think it had to do with Diane. But outside of Marvin, you got Nokomis. You got the six-finger plan that actually was originally created by, I think the idea was floated out there by Mike, who was the first boot, and retooled by Marvin, but Nokomis was given full credit on the episodes. But you had the six-finger plan, which absolutely broke the veto and required Big Brother to go to random draw moving forward. You've got Adria and Natalie with the original twin twist, which was pretty fun. And it was also fun watching the power go to their head once they were both in the game. You had the Four Horsemen. You had Jace, one of the more iconic villains of the series, really. You have Will's famous, "If karma's a boomerang, I'll see you sooner rather than later." What? If karma's a boomerang, I'll see you sooner rather than later. I don't know why I dragged that out. Anyway, on top of that, you've also got Cowboy just being dead set that the twin was Holly, even though I think Julie said that the twins were still playing the game and Holly had been evicted by like 3 weeks at that point. There's also a really intriguing endgame between like Nokomis and Diane and Drew and Cowboy and the relationships that all four of them are revolved with, where we find out Cowboy and Nokomis were brother and sister early in the season, which is crazy. The producers were insane for doing this first and foremost, but those two being there at towards the end of the game. You have Karen getting sniped out on Nokomis' HOH because of the veto results. Like, you just have all these things that do make the back end of the season really intriguing. I just don't know why, when I ran it next to everything else, this is just where it fit. It kept moving up and then down and then up and then down, and eventually I just couldn't move it anymore. So I feel like this is a respectable spot for Big.
All right, this is dragging on far too long. That's the end of part one. Stay tuned. Over the next couple of weeks, I will release the second part of this video for those of you that are just so enthralled and entertained by these Big Brother opinions. So yeah, like and subscribe to the channel, thekidsworkarounds.com. Much appreciated. I'll see y'all next time.